The American pilot was dragged by his hair, and he dared not resist. Only in this way, maybe there was a glimmer of hope. He was taken to a village. He kept smiling at the villagers on the road. He firmly believed that people who smile should not be hit, but the reality was cruel. The soldiers ordered him to lie flat on the ground. 4 people tied his limbs and exposed him to the scorching sun. He said he needed to go to the toilet, but no one understood. More than 10 hours later, he peed in his pants. Then they tied his feet with ropes. There was a cow in front. They dragged the pilot away. They also kicked mud on his face. The pilot rolled on the ground for a long time. He was tortured like this until dusk. When he opened his eyes again, he found himself hanging upside down in the air. There was a hornet's nest tied to his face. Several villagers on the side kept spinning him. Their whole person was like a spinning top suspended in the air, until he fainted. He was put down with a dizzy head. He was stuffed into a well again. The pilot could only tiptoe and raise his head to breathe. After the torture, they sent him to a shabby prison in the rain forest. There were already several prisoners of war here. They were all pilots. They were captured after being shot down in Laos. The longest one had been in prison for more than 2 years. They all had long beards and were skinny. It seemed that their lives were not easy. They looked forward to a ceasefire every day. They looked forward to the government negotiating their freedom. But there was no good news. They were locked up day after day. At night, the prisoners' hands were locked together. They slept side by side. Not only could they not turn over, but even their feet were locked. Because the food was very bad, there was a buddy with a bad stomach. He would poop in his pants every night. The pilot didn't want to stay for another day. He decided to escape from the prison. After observation, he found that the prison was very simple. There were wooden fences all around. It was not difficult to climb over. The prison guards were also very weak. He felt that it would not be difficult to escape. He needed a nail, but there was only one nail in the entire prison. It was on the shed where the jailers usually stayed. The pilot arranged his companions to spread out to attract the attention of the guards. Soon there was only one friendly jailer left in the shed. The pilot ran over and pretended to borrow toothpaste to brush his teeth. While telling jokes to the little guy, he secretly pulled out the nail. Back in the cell, he used a stone to grind the nail into a finer size. Gradually it became an iron needle. At night, he used the iron needle to pry open the handcuffs. In this way, everyone could finally turn over and sleep at night. After getting rid of the handcuffs, the next step was to prepare food and wait for the rainy season to come. Then he could take the opportunity to escape.